and let us all do we can to build a better future.
This has gotten myself and the rest of the team here pretty angry because we've talked about censorship. We've talked about suppression on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And, no matter what, in this day and age, these social media platforms cannot act like publishers. I understand they're private companies, right? Let's throw that out there. However, if they're going to be acting the way of publishers and denying who can speak and who cannot speak on their platforms, then we're opening up a whole other can of worms. So I want to pull up this Substack right now. And FaZe, if we can, I want to share with our audience. Permanently suspended on Twitter. And I want to be very careful how I word this because, again, YouTube...
You're going to be doing a separate thing on this anyway.
Yeah. So Dr. Robert Malone was recently kicked off Twitter. So we all knew it would happen eventually. Today it did. Over 500,000 followers gone in a blink of an eye. That means I must have been on the mark, so to speak, over the target. It also means we lost a critical component in our fight to stop, obviously, dealing with the vaccines being mandated for children and to stop the corruption in our governments, as well as the medical industrial complex and pharmaceutical industries. So please spread the word. Share this on your own Twitter feed or whatever social media venue you wish. Again, he was supposed to show up on Joe Rogan's show tomorrow. And this happened to Dr. Malone. So he was unsubscribed. And I wanted to say that the fact that this happened just like that really should draw up some question marks. Like, again, it's very convenient that this happened the day before he's going to show up on Rogan's show. Daniel, your thoughts?
Yeah, again, we can't obviously say a whole lot about this. But again, Kit's going to do something separate on this on Rockfin. But I would say that it just goes to show everything we've been saying about the reasoning for the censorship. This is the guy that developed the system that is currently being used, who's effectively being blacklisted off of Twitter for sharing his opinion on studies that have been published recently. I don't know if I can say anything more than that, but I don't know. That's like, I don't know anything about anything I can think of right now. That's like, I don't know. That's like if Zuckerberg was banned from Facebook because he was giving some insight to how he thinks Facebook would evolve in the next 3 months based on some studies he commissioned.
I also want to pull this mention this here as well. If we can pull up the article, you can find this article in the show notes in the description box below to our viewers. Again, I really want to say more about this. Now, I'll be doing a short recording on our Rockfin channel about this and talking about it in detail. But it's very concerning to me as a journalist, as a commentator, that in just one day you can lose your platform, lose all your followers. So you could check out his Substack. That link is in our description, or is in our Google document, so you could find that link. And if anyone wants to check out some of his further readings, you should. But you know, we're living in some very different times now, to where people who do have different opinions or might want to challenge the system are automatically being suppressed. Now, I'm all open for dialogue and sharing ideas. But the minute you start saying this person can't speak, I don't like this group,
but not
I don't
only
like
that,
that person.
It's not just that. We've already been dealing with that. It's that this expert who originated this process can't speak about said process. Agreed. Because it doesn't fit our political narrative.
Agreed. And so now, you know, again, because actually, even looking at this, I'm still speechless. And there are days where I wonder, well, just are we nearing the bottom yet? And the thing is, how many times have we done stories like this, Daniel, where there are people who lose their platform, lose everything, and some of these people are experts in their own field. And so the thing is there an end, or does this keep on going on and on and on until people realize that big tech is acting like publishers?
Well, everything has to be planned right, and we don't have the power to do anything about it right now. And it's like you could take larger channels, and again, like I'll just say I don't know what I can and can't say, so I'm going to be very careful and let Kit talk on the Rockfin show for real news and lids. Apparently, all I'll say is off this: all the independent media channels that are out there, if they're growing, don't trust them. If they're stagnant, they're probably on the right track. Keep that in mind for whenever the next era happens. I don't know if there is a change in the system, it's likely going to be when the pandemic passes, and we'll see what happens. And ironically, I think if there's anything we can do if there's one thing that we might actually have some impact on to change the system in terms of talking about stuff, ironically, I think we have to talk to Trump when he's running.
Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true. All right. With that being said, we're going to move on now to our next story. Before we do, Daniel, I got an announcement to share with you, buddy.
What's that?
Joining us as one of our moderators, who's in the live stream chat right now, is the wonderful, incredible, outstanding, legendary Kira McCown. She's in the house. Shout out to Kira, who's being one of our moderators, who's enjoying her vacation. Sorry, Kira. See, the thing is, I did my detective, investigative, big brain work.
We all collectively hallucinated that you weren't on the show last week, except for Kit. But he also didn't fully remember either, to give us some credit.
But then I took some brain medicine, and I was like, wait a minute.
Did you get it from Joe Rogan? Tell me you got it from Joe Rogan.
Absolutely, I got it from Joe Rogan, Daniel. That's a scientific fact. Put that in the bank. Hashtag run with it. Get your brain medicine from Rogan.
You know what's crazy, though? Kit, right now, you could go on Twitter and tweet out, I just bought brain medicine from Joe Rogan, and I remembered everything. It works. Buy it. And that would be fine. But if you were an expert in your field and said that, that might be an issue.